is Sherry Vasquez. I am a recent graduate of the St. Croix Educational Complex, and also I will be attending the University of the Virgin Islands this upcoming fall. I'm sitting here with Miss Lindsay,
Yes.
and can you introduce yourself?
My name is Lindsay Simmons. I am a business owner in the Virgin Islands. I own a farm and I deal with a lot of agriculture and sustainable agriculture.
Interesting. How do you define yourself as a Virgin Islander?
How do I define myself as a Virgin Islander? I fit one of many definitions because I'm actually not born here.
Oh.
And my parents aren't born here. So I have no ancestral history on this island. I have ancestral history in the Caribbean, and I moved here when I was 5 years old. So I would categorize myself as from here and not born here.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, so you're not born here. So, how do you feel about our status as an incorporated territory?
Our status as an unincorporated territory is basically a leftover status from an acquisition where when we were acquired by America, they needed to give us a status. And so we fit into the status as unincorporated territory. And we just haven't left that point yet. We're still that.
And you said you have ties in the Caribbean. Do you think we should collaborate with other Caribbean nations and unincorporated territories to unify our emancipation efforts?
I don't think it's unique to us to collaborate with our geographic region. I think that that would be necessary for any group of people that want to focus on self-determination, emancipation, sustainability, resilience. All of those would require partnerships and working with our geographic region of people, because what creates culture also goes into our geographic regions, what we go through as entities and beings. So other unincorporated territories face very similar things that we do, especially as a people. And our entire geographic region of the Caribbean and Central America faces climatic issues, people issues, culture issues, and so forth that are very similar. So yeah, definitely. I think it would be totally against any effort to emancipate to not coordinate with the people we live amongst.
Okay. How is freedom sustainable in this environment?
Freedom and emancipation, I believe, are, and this is my personal view, are constant goals ahead of us as human beings on the planet. There is no group of people that I know of that live in complete freedom or in complete emancipated states that are systemically involved internationally. So if we want to pick some random tribe in the Amazon, maybe, but are you emancipated if you know not what goes on outside of your little area of your tribe? So as we grow as a people, a human race, a being, we will always face freedom, emancipation, and what that means to us.
What do we need as a community to understand the importance of a nation and building and group economics?
What do we need as a people? Libraries might be good. Access to information. Put into not just our school system, but all of America should honestly learn Caribbean history. America's history is based off of Caribbean history and African history. We were the beginning stage where we left Africa, we came to the Caribbean, and then we traveled up to the mainland. And that's the most common track of, I don't like to use the word blacks, but blacks in America. And so when we left Africa, we were tribes and we were people and we were cultures. And as we bounced our way up generationally towards the mainland of America, we became Black people and the diaspora. And so I think, as a people, we need to look at that. And I mean, as a people, not VI people, but as a human species, we need to look at what, we've traveled through and what we've gone through and look back and see, how does that impact me? How does that impact my people today in my geographic region, in my community. And so access to knowledge, information, and the freedom and the right to express that and talk about it is another thing. I remember when I was young, my parents would always tell me, if you want to avoid arguments, don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics, and don't talk about how to raise children with people. If you avoid those three topics, you won't have conflicts with people. And so my parents' generation viewed conflict as the issue, not the fact that the conflict could create a solution. And we avoided those topics, and now we are stuck in those topics. Those are our three main topics that we can't move past as a people and discuss.
What do you think can be done?
Can be done? I think it's being done in small increments so we don't feel it. You know, I recently, as a member of Act Out Ensemble, we gave a survey to high schoolers in Complex, and the youth had a ton of answers that were spot on. You know, I think our youth know what needs to happen, and I think we need to start making cultural adjustments to what's happening. And so, like the old phrase, the elder knows the way, but the youth has the energy. The youth has the energy and knows the way. And the elder knows a lot about what not to do because they've been there and they've done that, and maybe it didn't work, or maybe it needs to be tweaked. And fresh minds and young people can bring that to us.
What do you think is the role of the youth, basically?
The role of the youth, my future. That's your role. You're going to be where I'm sitting and she's sitting and other people are sitting one day. And so my view of our youth is where we're going. That's what they're showing us, what direction we're going to be going in. And much of being emancipated is also watching the ride that you're going through and watching the journey that you're given, because I have decisions I can make in my life that are for me. But as a community, I'm given something. And so the youth is showing me what's going to be coming to me in the next 10, 20 years.
I want to ask you about the upcoming celebration of the 175th Emancipation. Do you consider it a celebration?
I mean, they're throwing a celebration, but I think it's a work in progress, and I don't think we should be celebratory. I think it's a continued process, and I think that we are not there yet. Our title as an unincorporated territory tells us we're not there yet. So, no, I don't think they should be throwing a celebration and a party. I think that we should be focusing on educating and making efforts to grow and decide what we're going to do with ourselves as a community. So, I don't even agree with like just a board or one person running it. You need to engage your community. You know, they should have been engaging the community all year, planning up to July 3rd. And on July 3rd, we can have activities and resources and go over roundtables and so forth to figure out going forward, these are our next steps. But we're celebrating something that we don't have. We're not truly emancipated.
Thank you so much, Miss Lindsay Simmons, for this conversation. I've learned so much in this one sit down.
It was really good to sit with you this time, and I hope next time we could turn it into a roundtable discussion.